Welcome back once again to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. I am, as always, Chat Show. How are you?
Great.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Happy 200th.
Happy 200th to you.
Jamie, happy 200th.
Thank you. Same to you, gentlemen. 5 years, 200 shows.
Those network shows,
Yeah.
it takes them 5 years just to get to 100 episodes sometimes.
Wimps.
Half-assing it, I say.
Pussies.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got there in a scant 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
200 shows, averaging 40 Sundays a year. Not bad.
No.
Considering it feels like we missed 20.
I can't remember a time when I wasn't doing this on Sundays.
Like last Sunday?
Yeah.
Next Sunday?
Meh. This doesn't seem real to me.
Okay. I want to thank both of you for being below these 200 episodes.
He was
Most
here
of
since,
them.
we were here since day one.
Day one.
You were both here since day before one. And Sammy's missed more than Jamie,
It's true.
but only mathematically.
With good reason.
Well, were they?
Is that good enough reason?
I think
Better than my excuse. My excuse is usually I'm in Orlando.
You're in Orlando. Sammy, a couple times you've been to a Cubs game. Not for nothing.
I don't think that's accurate.
Once?
Maybe once.
Okay. Your favorite show? Go. Out of the 200.
Out of the 200, this one.
Always.
I love the way it
this
started, and I
discussion.
love our guest.
Jamie?
We already had this discussion on the fifth anniversary.
2 weeks ago, yes. But you get a chance to ask Sammy.
Oh,
Yeah. So your favorite show? Come on, give me top three.
Weird Al.
Of course.
Number two, Damon Lindelof, and then probably Ask a Ninja.
I see he went for the funny.
Oh, comedy in threes. Always. Kenny? Not Mike.
We did
Still
this.
not
We
mine.
discussed this. I'm not answering this question. We discussed this last episode. Get some
Okay,
new
you don't
material.
have to.
Get some new material.
Kenny's enjoying his first Bloody Mary ever,
That is not true.
Can't be true.
and he said
That
it's
is,
not.
it's not correct because I made him finish one of mine up at Sketchfest because it had too much horseradish in it.
Can I tell you?
Bingo bango.
Can I tell you my
Please.
Bloody Mary secret?
Please.
Pickle spear.
Pickle spear.
That's not much of a secret, but I do like the.
Jenny Slate knows.
I like the.
I like a lot of
pickled
gear
green
in
bean.
my.
I like the pickled green
Yes, that's
bean
also
drop.
good.
Thumbs down from our
Yeah,
guest.
I'm with your guest.
You know what's the worst though? Celery stalk. Don't waste my time with a giant
That's what I'm
celery
saying.
stalk.
Don't put a celery stalk in there. Put a pickle in there.
If I want a salad, I'll have
What kind of pickle? Like a good half sour?
A good half sour or a good?
We like our half sours.
Well, yeah. You know.
Do you mean a wedge or the entire pickle?
no? A wedge.
Spear.
A spear.
A spear.
Like a
Yeah.
quartered.
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 Yeah.
All right.
Celery salt, but not celery stalk.
I like to rim my glass
Wait for it.
with
She likes the rim.
Lowry salt
With Lowry salt?
Yeah.
On the rim.
on the rim.
Okay, remember that. This is exactly how I'd hoped we'd celebrate our 200. By the way.
We don't even have a guest today. We're just going to be discussing this for the next
Did
2
I not
hours,
mention
right?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's been 5 years, 200 shows, and congratulations to us all.
Thank you likewise.
Yeah, I want to thank today's sponsor, Don't Have One.
Really?
We did, and then decisions were made, and it went away.
I see. Decisions were made.
Long story short, we're coming to you live on the YouTube. Are you watching us on the YouTube? How do you do the show? Write to us at contact@kevinpollakschatshow.com and let us know. Speaking of kevinpollakschatshow.com, it's under renovation. Hold your emails, hold your tweets, hold your fucking face. We're okay. You're okay. Now back off. It's under renovation. Yeah, it's going to be better, cleaner, faster, and more 2014-ish. Write us a review on the YouTube or on the iTunes. Would it kill you? Fuck.
Only if it's a good review, though.
Yeah.
Hold your shitty comments for the kitchen table.
That's an
We don't need to
excellent
hear
point,
them.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Write us a positive review.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you can send a bad one to contact@kevinpollakschatshow.com. You
Yeah.
can let us know exactly why you hate us. I'm happy to read that on the air. We have many Larry King submissions, and I'm not going to bring any of them to you today because I want to spend more time with our guest,
Good call.
who has a limited number of minutes, so let's get to her now. Also enjoy us on the Earwolf Podcast Network, the best stand comedy podcast network on the planet. We're very excited about dropping a new show there every Tuesday. And I believe that is the old business and the new business. That brings us up to speed. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but here now, Jamie and I went to the Sundance Film Festival in January, and It was great because we finally got to see movies. Usually go to Sundance Film Festival with a film, which our guest today will talk about. And all you do is talk about that film and you never get to see any other films. I saw 7 films. I think Jamie saw 6. And one of them, arguably my favorite, along with maybe one other, is a film called Obvious Child. Starring Jenny Slate. Hello.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you? I'm well.
Are you?
Yeah.
You seem well.
I'm well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're masking the whole experience that may have been happening 12, 14 hours ago.
Yeah. Little tiny hangover.
Tiny. The best kind of hangover.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like a remake of the Hangover movies, but with little people?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like Tiny Kiss,
Yeah.
but Tiny Hangover.
Right.
You were celebrating your birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your somebody's birthday.
Yes, John Daly.
John
the
Daly.
comedian who's been on the show.
Who's been on this show?
Hasn't he?
Yes, of course he has. We love John Daly.
Yeah.
And his work on the Kroll Show.
Yeah.
Along with yourself.
Thank you.
Do you guys do much together? I guess you did. No.
We don't get to do a lot together. We had some Denise Rich Dicks crossover this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also a name I fought under in the 60s, Denise Rich Dicks. But since we're on the discussion of Hangover, watch this segue. Can we talk about your involvement on Drunk History, which I enjoyed very, very much?
Sure.
Yeah. It was a terrific episode.
Thank you.
It's a terrific show. Are they still doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
They're doing it right now.
Explain to me the process, because all I see is the finished product, which is funny as hell.
Yeah.
And seems completely authentic.
Yeah.
But I'd like to hear.
It is. Well, so I watched it because when they asked me to do it, I thought I was going to be a reenactor.
Sure.
And then they were like, "No, you'll be the storyteller, aka the drunk person."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" I didn't even think I would. That's such an honor.
Yeah, and
You know?
also I remember growing up in a day when you couldn't. There was some ruling that went down from early Carson shows when he would have people on and they would drink and smoke, and then eventually you weren't allowed to drink alcohol as a host of a talk show on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then it may have changed since. So they have you drinking booze live on camera,
You have to do. You're in your house though.
but they do it in your home.
Yeah, and there's like a nurse there.
Sure.
And they breathalyze you and stuff.
Who doesn't have a nurse, by the way, when they're drinking at home?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah. I have a wet nurse.
I'm soaking in it.
For mixers.
Sure.
Yeah, I use breast milk. I don't know.
Wow, now we're talking about White Russian.
Nothing cuts Scotch
Yeah.
better, by the way, than breast milk.
Love a natural milky cocktail. But yeah, so you're in your house, and when I talked to the producer, they were like, it would be pretty good if you have kind of a buzz on when we get to your house, and then we'll set up, and you'll just keep drinking, and you'll talk with Derek, and Derek Waters, who created the show.
Right.
And I was I watched a bunch of them, and people get ripped.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna floor it, but I've done one crazy thing one time when I was drunk, caused destruction.
Sure.
But otherwise, I'm just really, really happy
Right.
and chatty.
Sure.
So kind of, I could be straight up wasted right now and you wouldn't know.
Oh, nice.
Not really true. Not really true. You can tell at the end, I started to slur my words.
Yeah,
At
there's a
the end.
little wobbly.
Oh, I could not walk, and I threw up 3 times.
Sure.
Yeah, I threw up a lot, but yeah, you tell the story over and over again. You probably tell it 3 times or so, but I did not. I mean, I watched the episode and was like, I don't remember. I don't even know what I'm talking about at the end of the episode. I really don't understand myself.
Wow.
And I think I know myself fairly well, and I was watching it.
Yeah.
And just being what are you? Why? Why
Yeah.
would you say that? And also, I had to text Derek the next day and
Beg him?
apologize for something that I said that I believe if it had shown up on TV, I would it would have made the news.
Wow. So you shared something that
I
you
did.
know and
Now I
is a
think
secret
it's
to
funny.
society.
Yeah. Well, now what it was.
Yeah, you can tell us now.
Now I kind of don't stand by it, but I do a little.
Uh-huh.
But it's just has no. I was talking about the history of Coca-Cola, so the reason that I brought this up is completely a mystery. But I ended up saying that there is a subtext whenever there is a group of straight males together. There is the unspoken thing that they know, which is that they could rape.
As a group, they could gang rape.
Yeah,
whenever men gather,
they're like,
there's an unspoken thing. Right now,
like,
it's not good for you guys.
But here's the thing. Like, here's why I don't know why it came up. But just that day, I had been reading about, that group Anonymous, like, got these like rapists convicted by like repeatedly like going online and just like saying what they did over and over again to this cheerleader, this like passed out cheerleader that they like took around to parties and like sexually assaulted. And I was just like, yeah, you don't hear about like groups of cheerleaders taking around like a football player and bouncing up and down on his dick until they come. They don't do it.
No, you don't.
We don't do it.
So we just don't hear about it.
Yeah. It's anonymous.
It's
there's not going to be a man who's going to call the police and say, I've been raped.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it being reported.
So you think dudes are just getting raped all over town by like cheerleading squads and not saying anything?
No, I don't know why you keep bringing in cheerleaders.
Yeah.
I just think it's also in like the sports. You never hear about like a group of like cellists or something that took around a passed out flautist. It's always bros.
But she's in the wind section.
Yeah.
How could you not bring around
she
a
was
flautist?
blowing on that flute.
Hello.
Yeah.
Also,
clarinet.
Officer, I think I was raped by a group of girls. I don't know, maybe a couple of 6s and 7s, but I exclusively go 8s and higher.
Yeah.
So I feel really violated. Can we do something about it?
How many of them were there, Sammy?
Yeah. No, I was on the. You get the idea.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I don't even know why I brought that up. I don't know why I said it, and I.
That's what you felt the need to apologize for.
Yeah.
Among all the things you said.
Because I also remember his face being like, "What are you saying?"
I think he was just upset that you knew about the unspoken agreement we all had.
And that's clearly the part that would have made the news, as you put it.
Yeah, made the news.
That you think all men, when in a group, are capable of rape.
I guess I have like a lingering fear that I'm gonna say something or do something and it's gonna like make the news.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's nothing I could say that I believe that would be like shocking.
Are you ever in a live television situation? You just reminded me of my own secret thoughts. Where a horrible thing to say comes to mind, like live in a Conan O'Brien interview on his show.
Like saying fuck on SNL live in the first episode?
Wait a minute, hang on, you're no Charles Rocket. There's a distinct difference.
Yeah.
A distinct difference between your F-bomb and any other F-bomb ever dropped on the show.
What a bummer. Yeah. I mean, no, but that one just flew out. I mean, there was no.
Well, you were in a sketch where you're supposed to say friggin'.
Yeah, which I wrote. So also it makes me like wonder what I was like doing to myself.
Yeah, it's still a wild-haired accident that wasn't planned and just happened.
No, just terrifying. But
I mean when you're sitting on the Conan O'Brien show, which I think weirdly is the first time I saw you on the television. That's how out of sorts I am.
Yeah.
You were giving an interview for Marcel the Show?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Is
that's
that one
why
of
I
your
went there.
first TV? No, couldn't have been.
No. By that time I had like already been
done-
on Bored to Death and SNL.
That's right, Bored to Death. I saw you on Bored to Death and didn't put the two together.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Oh, I know what I'm saying. As yourself, of course I'd seen you on TV acting.
Right.
But I hadn't seen you on a talk show,
Yeah.
per se. You had done some prior to that.
I had never been on a talk show before that.
Then I was right.
Yeah.
Okay, so your talk show debut was that Conan appearance.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking is when you're in those situations, because I find myself in those situations, those are the ones where I'm thinking, while the host is asking me a question of just saying, cock!
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a weird...
I really don't like being hemmed in.
Well, sometimes also I just wonder, why is my brain doing this to me?
Yeah.
It knows I shouldn't
It's
say
anxiety.
cock right now. Does my brain think that it could trip me? And that it'll be funny to my brain?
Your brain can trip you.
If I'll say fuck. So, all right, well, since we're there, and you've talked about it ad nauseum, so let's
I
just...
don't even know why. Sometimes I feel like I bring it up just to get it out of the way, but nobody gives a shit. And I don't even fucking care.
It seemed like no one in the moment... I'm sure someone cared, like at the network and the thing and the place.
Yeah.
But does Lauren even rush over and go, oh my God, what have you done? Of course not.
I mean, I apologized. It was obviously an accident, but like, I just did not know what to do. In general, you get there and nobody tells you what to do. But like, Andy Samberg came up to me and he was like, you should probably like apologize to Lauren. And I was like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I was like kind of just trying not to talk to Lauren because I was so scared.
Sure.
Sure. And then I was like, I'm so sorry, Lauren. I don't know what happened. And he was like, it's okay. Enjoy U2 or whatever. Like he wasn't mean.
It's okay. Enjoy U2.
U2 was the band, I believe.
Yeah, because out of context, what a weird thing to say.
Yeah,
it's okay. Enjoy U2.
Enjoy U2. There's a band I think you should listen to. It's going to be a rocky year for you.
Yeah, it's okay. Have you tried Coldplay?
Yeah, he was nice. He wasn't mad. I mean, he was more concerned.
Sure.
Yeah, it seemed like...
Because in the days of Charles Rocket, they called for his head.
Oh, they did?
It was a wildly different
insisted he get fired.
Time.
Did he get fired?
He did, because it was during Good Nights, and he had just done a spoof of Dallas.
Right.
And so it was Charlene Tilton was the host, and he walked out and he was still pretending to be drunk. And he just said something like, who gives a fuck? And she was still saying her good nights, like the cameras were rolling, and she went, "Oh, live TV, folks!" Oh. It was like, okay, he had no excuse. Like he knew they were rolling. He wasn't actually drunk. He was pretending to be drunk.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in a character.
He wasn't in character. He had no reason to be doing that.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think Lauren was there. That was 80, 81. So it was.
Oh, that part.
It was like the
It was the Ebersol years. Yeah. So I don't think.
I don't know. I just don't care. It's a swear. It's not a racial slur.
Yeah.
And like in that same year that I said a swear, there was, there were sketches about like gorillas raping people. Like that's got to be more destructive for society than me saying fuck.
Yeah. Not like you said fucking kikes.
No, I don't. I say it to myself, but I don't say it. I didn't say it on TV.
Speaking of which, you were going to attempt a Seder tonight.
Yeah.
And your friends poo-pooed it?
It just fell apart. It was like...
From lack of interest?
I think just, everyone was going to have to, bring something or sit there, and we were like, just couldn't get it together.
Because I love the idea of gathering your friends away from family, away from responsibilities.
Yeah.
Even if you're not terribly religious, which I am not.
Yeah.
And just having, from the memory of childhood, you bring out the books, the Haggadah, and you read the youngest reads the 4 questions, and you make fun of the whole thing, and then you have bad food.
Yeah, or good food. We would have good food.
You would purposely make a good version?
Definitely everything good. And we're still going to do it, but yeah, I like the idea. One thing I like as a grown-up is doing things that I did as kids, being on the but we can do whatever we want side of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So having a Seder, but definitely smoking weed during it.
Sure.
And just like
the original Hebrews.
Like the original Hebrews.
Yeah.
I don't know, I like doing things that are from my family, but sort of doing them my way.
Yeah, so you hide the spleef.
Spleef?
I wanted to date myself in the worst possible way. Spleef.
Very well.
I guess you hide the spleef, Kevin.
Would you even bother calling them joints? Is there a common vernacular for?
I call them joints.
Joints, okay.
If I may.
Like you've ever smoked in your life.
I believe what you're referring to is known as a spliff, and that is half weed, half tobacco.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a spliff.
You like to get everything just slightly wrong.
Yeah. Also, if I may, I'd only heard it with a Jamaican accent when in fact it sounded like they were saying spleef.
I said spleef, man.
Like blunt. It's blunt.
I believe it's the ganj around those
ganj?
parts. Yeah.
And you smoke it on a Bing. Speaking of Bing, I've enjoyed you many times on the Comedy Bing Bong.
Comedy Bing Bong.
Yeah.
Oh, Comedy Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awfully fun.
I really like it. I like wearing headphones.
Sure.
In general.
Sorry, can we get some cans, stat?
I love them. I sometimes doing podcasts about just comedy make me feel like a douche.
Sure. That's why we're not talking about comedy.
I mean, I like talking, and also I just, I'm like a real list maker.
Right.
Like I like to make a list at the start of my day of all the things I'm gonna do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. And I like to tell. This sounds really boring, but
I was kidding, Kenny.
Oh yeah, I don't need those.
Yeah, I was kidding.
I mean, thanks, Kenny.
So sweet.
One Bloody Mary, and he is just all over the road.
That was not Kenny's doing.
I like to be like, I like to tell people like everything I ate during the day. Or if you ask me like, how was your day? I just will go through everything that I did and how I felt. And so I like talking about my work because I like dissecting it like that. But
Dissecting comedy always feels like a weird thing.
I'm interested in it because I do like why I do it. I do like doing it.
Yeah.
And I like to talk about why I do it. But
do you make the list because you hate chaos?
I don't know. I think I do. I think I might.
I'm not a fan of chaos.
Yeah.
I don't feel OCD, but I like a clean counter, for example. Don't like a busy counter in the kitchen.
I like the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
I like doing my dishes because it's just really like meditative, and I like the simplicity of tasks. Like tasks are enough for me often. I really enjoy them.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's
And
something.
I agree with her 100% on like just writing. I do write I physically write out a
them
list,
out.
and then you get to like once you accomplish
love
something, crossing out.
them.
Yeah, I agree with her.
I have a blackboard too.
Oh,
And
that's
sometimes I put things on the blackboard that I'd like to have.
What's the last thing you crossed off on the blackboard? That felt very Barbara Walters, by the way.
I think it was.
Kill the dog.
I had the last thing I had was a grocery list.
Sure.
Yeah.
On the blackboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'll plan a meal. You know, like a cooked dinner for people, and I'll like write on the blackboard what the different dishes will be. But also now on the blackboard are my dog's eye drops schedule. And we check the boxes every day and then erase them at the night and then start again the next day.
That's important.
Yeah.
I use that sort of handiwork on my iPhone under the appointments and the notes and the reminders and the alarms.
That's not tactile enough for me.
Constantly, all day long.
I agree with her. And then I think it might be a girl thing because Samantha, our makeup artist, is the same way. Like she likes to keep, she can't like keep a calendar on her phone. She has to physically like write everything out, and then that way she'll like remember like all her appointments and everything.
Even though it's all there and everything on the iCal is there and it even reminds you with a little noise, I feel like I'm just putting things into the air. And that they're just like floating around me.
Yeah, you like to look at the list, whether
I
it's on a
do.
piece of paper or a chalkboard, wherever it is.
Yeah. I think I am
This,
sort
by
of...
the way, is why you women get paid less than us men. This sort of crap you're talking about right now. For every job, by the way.
Yeah, for every job in the United States. I don't know what it is.
You thought you were
but-
going to be in the news.
Yeah. Speaking of news,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit. We're all over the place because that's how we like to do things here.
That's how I do
About
it.
this brand spanking new television project that you're.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought, well, we'll talk about the Kroll Show because you're doing amazing work on that.
Thank you.
And Obvious Child, which we very much want to talk about.
Yeah.
And then right before we went live, you let it spill, and now I'm hoping you can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Are you in production at this moment?
We're in production. The show is called Married. It will be on FX starting July 21st, I believe. And it stars Judy Greer, Nat Faxon. They're a couple.
Great.
Then I'm married to Paul Reiser.
Sure.
And then we have Brett Gelman, whose character is going through a divorce.
Love Brett.
Yeah. And John Hodgman.
We've got the Hodgman.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And
him
we've
out
had
west.
some cool guest stars.
Getting Hodgman out west, that's a big deal.
I know. Yeah. It's cool. I really like it. It's created by a man named Andrew Gerland. And
You created it with him? No.
nope,
They came
I'm just
to you.
on it. Yeah, I auditioned for it.
What?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
You're the star of the show.
I'm
A star.
I'm one of
It's an
4
ensemble.
people. Yeah, I mean, I think technically Nat and Judy are the stars of it.
Oh, my mistake is when you first brought up the topic, you used the term "my show."
My show.
Wow.
Well, it is my show.
It is
I'm
your
one
show.
of the regulars on the show.
Yeah, no.
But-
there's no other way around it. You have to say "my show" because otherwise you find yourself saying too purposely the show that I'm doing, and then you
Yeah.
sound like you're making a thing
Right.
out of it.
I don't want to make a thing. I'm number 4 on the call sheet. I'm not number 1.
Which is the first question I had about Obvious Child.
What's
but
that?
before we get to that,
Sure.
because I think that was I think based on the research, the dossier we've put together on you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jason McIntyre. That Obvious Child may have been the first time you were starring in a movie and were #1 in the call sheet, which
True.
is a really big fucking deal.
It is.
And especially to crush it as well as you did.
Thank you.
Seriously.
That's
Everyone should wait until they are ready to do that good of a job as #1 on the call sheet.
That's really nice.
It was ridiculous.
That's an interesting thing to say. I was just talking with some friends about like the transfer from, like why some people get into stand-up. Some of them get in because they're like, I want to be a stand-up comedian.
Right.
Some you fall into it, and for me it was like a really attractive way into just being able to perform. And be in a community of performers, and like community of theater actors just was not attractive to me at all. And also I didn't feel like I would get into that. I didn't feel like I could.
Right.
And I wasn't trained, and whatever. But I always wanted to be an actress, not a stand-up comedian. I started in stand-up, but I just wanted to be like Madeline Kahn. And
Same with me, but not Madeline Kahn.
right.
I'd love her to death.
Yes.
And Jamie, is she your favorite, Madeline Kahn?
Oh, absolutely.
Of all time?
I think she's on my Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she rules, and so like, it's this weird thing that you start doing comedy, you do stand-up, and if you're lucky enough to be, working and successful, you get to go onto TV. But then it's a lot of like really, really big, blown-out comedy parts.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you get to go from like stand-up into just normal acting.
Yeah.
So rare.
Yeah.
And like I remember I saw David Cross in The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and
Right.
was like, fuck, that is awesome.
Right.
You know?
Or Me and Avalon and a number of other films. It's not important.
I love that movie so much, and I love the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's arguably Randy Newman's best work.
It's so hauntingly
Mainly
beautiful.
because he's not singing ever in it.
But so I think like,
Real acting.
oh yeah, real acting. And then like, I think a lot of comedians want to do it and start to get the itch, but
You have to be careful.
you do.
My career made a serious left turn.
Is that
after
true?
Suspects, A Few Good Men, Usual Suspects, and Casino within 2.5, 3 years, those 3 movies, and I was stamped a dramatic actor. Well, I mean,
Right.
Avalon was the start of it, but then after those 3,
Yeah,
I couldn't get a meeting on a comedy. I mean, ever.
interesting.
Bizarrely. And blah, blah, blah. So I'm just saying, careful what you wish.
Yeah, well, I actually didn't.
I go door to door with this.
I
I knock on doors. and just-
Before I knew very much about you, or had met you, I did not know that you had started as a stand-up comedian.
and there
I
we-
didn't know.
Nope. How would you? However you discover people is how you know them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'd seen you on Bored to Death and this and that thing, but when I saw you on Conan that time, for some reason, that was the first time I thought of you as a comedian. I thought of you as an actress
That's nice.
prior to that.
Yeah. I don't know what I think of myself as, but I'm glad that the movie was like really brought to me, and
Obvious Child.
yeah, and I think it's, definitely been, I've like said to my agents, I don't just want to try out for comedies, like I would even like to be in a scary movie, just like anything, and they can be like, yeah, for sure, but they're just like not gonna be able to help you until you can get it done.
Yeah.
But then you don't want to get greedy and start to be like, what is my vehicle? Because then you can really douche out.
Yeah.
And then, and the worst part is like, there's this weird metaphor that I don't know who started it or why I got into my brain, but it, like, when you see ballet dancers do their dancing, you don't hear them being like, ow, 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 like it's so hard.
Like tennis?
And they're so
Like a
fucking
tennis match
tired.
when they-
Yeah, but they have to be like totally quiet.
Wow.
And their face has to be,
Pristine.
like
Yeah.
right. It has to be, it can't be like, you can't see their effort. And if you saw their effort, you'd be like, you're not that good. Even though you're doing all the jumps and the twirls and like getting lifted up and you have a perfect body, you're not that good.
Yeah.
If I can see it on your face.
Yeah.
And I think that is like I don't want anybody to see my personal, in my stand-up, I want them to see my personal motivations for like why I'm doing it.
Right.
But in my acting, whether
it
it's,
should look effortless.
it should.
Yeah, otherwise it looks like you're acting.
Yeah, and I think that if you try to gather too much for yourself and like this is my thing, I'm gonna do it, if you don't have the right people around you, your effort can show.
Yeah.
that I don't,
It becomes an affectation.
Yeah. That seems scary to me.
Let's go through the list of performers that we each can't stand because of their affectation. All right, I'm going to start with Russell Brand.
Russell Brand?
Yeah.
Who is that? Oh, with the long hair?
The British,
I don't know anything about him.
other than he's annoying.
I literally know nothing about him.
I think he
except
had a
that
show on FX.
He sure did.
Right,
Brandeis.
he did. Brandeis.
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 Brandeis. I thought you called it Brandeis. I
He had
did.
a show on FX and at Brandeis.
At Brandeis.
Oh my God, Brandeis. Brandeis, such an honor to go there. My family always fucking talking about Brandeis.
Your parents went to Amherst.
My mom went to Mount Holyoke.
Sure.
And my dad went to UMass Amherst. And somewhere along the line, they got this sweatshirt. I don't know. I love this sweatshirt.
Because it's comfy.
Yeah, and it's cool.
Well,
It's really cool. Like I found it in the attic when I was like in 7th grade. When it was cool to dress retro was coming back in.
sure.
Ringer tees and that 70s show shit. And like looking like the cast of that 70s show was like the style that I wanted
Wow, that was a thing?
for me.
Hello.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
you
sure.
guys are the same age. All three of you are 32.
Indeed
Yeah.
we are.
Goodness sake.
Yeah, but I mean, you were a child actor.
I was a teen actor.
That is a child actor.
I mean,
Just say thank you.
I was thank you. I was
It's
already
great. I wanted
driving
to
by the
be.
time I started booking regular work. I don't know if that separates me. But
Oh my God, it so does. I mean, to me, you're a child actor if you're doing acting while you're supposed to be in school, or doing.
He was on the
life.
cusp. Instead of going to
I
college.
graduated.
You had?
I was a high school graduate.
Oh, I
did
didn't know
Freaks and
that.
Geeks, yeah.
I guess I thought you were, because in Freaks and Geeks.
I played I was 14. In real
Yeah.
life, I was 17, and I was already out of high school. But a lot of people assume I was the actual age that I was.
Yeah.
But
Everyone thinks I'm 19, and I am.
Okay.
Yeah, how
I'm
many
19
people
years old.
think you guys are in school now?
Think we're in school now?
I got carded buying a scratcher lottery ticket about a month ago.
I get carded all the time.
Jane,
but
you
it's
get
just-
carded every
That's
time I go
18.
on?
At 17 years old, I thought I was.
Everyone, this place I volunteer at, everyone assumed I was like 22 when I came in. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm 32.
I can't tell how old anybody is, and I can't tell how old I look, but I'm 32.
Used to be middle age, 32.
Yeah,
Now maybe a third.
true.
Hey, if this were Logan's Run, we'd all be dead by now.
Yeah. There's a lot of different scenarios where we could all be dead.
The big one.
The late 30s
I-
in Europe would be horrible.
I outed myself on Russell Brand. You're not going to give me anyone?
Russell Brand.
No, forget Russell Brand. He just annoys me. Who annoys you? Who's out there who's trying too hard is the topic.
Sinbad?
All right, I'm going to put Sammy down for Sinbad. Slightly dated.
He's still trying too
Seems
hard.
unfair.
You mean the sailor and the pirate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, is there another?
Nope.
Okay.
It's not my way. It's honestly not my way. But I'll tell you what
I'm not
I
gonna
really,
force it down
truly
you.
don't like
Yeah.
is reality show people.
Oh, sure.
That shit.
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand it.
So-
it's making everyone dumber, and it's super bad for the way that women are dressing. Because it's just real bad fashion, which I mean, I'm sitting here, I understand I'm not like dressed up, but I cannot stand it.
Point your finger at a show in fashion-wise alone that's ruining things.
The Kardashians.
Well, we can. That's a beginning, middle, and end
Oh.
on the dumbing of everything.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. It's really bad.
Let's leave it there.
That's a terrible example.
Let's leave it there and go back to a more positive thing,
Sure.
which is tell me whatever else you can about Married. So you're in production now. It's going to go on third week in July, we think, on the FX channel, not the FXX, but the FX.
FX, yeah.
Congrats on somehow staving off FXX.
Yeah.
And it's an ensemble cast of the 6 of you.
Yeah, it's Nat and Judy and me and Brett, and then Paul comes in.
On
He
occasion.
recurs,
Sure.
yes, and John Hodgman recurs, and
Who created the show?
Andrew Gerland.
You told me that. And he comes to us from other things like.
He's like directed a lot of movies, some indies like The Virginity Hit and Mail Order Wife.
Sammy
is that
will
what it's
come
called?
up with the rest.
Yeah.
While you.
And then he directed like some scary movies too.
Really?
Like The Last Exorcism, I believe.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then he created this comedy show.
He is.
Is it a dramedy or is it a comedy?
It's a dark comedy, and he's had some other TV projects, I believe, as well. But
How's your beverage, by the way? Can we refresh?
right? No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, he's really smart. I'm really, really into him. He's smart and like really dark and really funny and
Oh, great.
honest. Yeah, he doesn't really treat anybody with kid gloves, which I like. Like I was afraid I had to wash my character has a son, a 2-year-old.
Does she?
Yeah, she does, and
I try to say, does he?
does he? Yeah, Paul Reiser and our characters have a baby, and I'm like, there's a scene where I'm like washing the baby in the bathtub, and I was like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
I literally I've never given a baby a bath, and I
That we
don't know how. Yeah, unless I'm a baby and I've given myself a lot of baths, but I just was really, really scared, and he was like, look, go outside and hang out with the baby. Like, we don't have time for you to be afraid of this baby. And I was just like, okay. He was like, go outside and be with the baby. And the babies played by twins. And I went to one twin, and it was like, like it hated me immediately.
Sure.
And I was just like, oh yeah. And then the other baby I went up to, and it was like, oh, it just totally was into me.
See, now, that makes me feel like the baby who hated you
Yeah.
was just a dumb
It's anti-Semitic.
Just a dumb baby.
Yeah.
Because how does a 2-year-old decide?
In my mind, I'm like, it sees my face,
Yeah.
and it thinks it's a witch. He thinks I'm a witch. He hates my face and
Sure.
my features. And he thinks I'm a
So
witch.
you don't want to be judged by a 2-year-old,
No, I don't.
is what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
That kid can go fuck himself. No, I just don't.
And that's what I was trying to get out of you
Yeah.
this whole time.
Fuck babies.
Thank you. Let's move on to Obvious Child. What a transition. Because one of the daring things about the film, of course, is that it deals with an unwanted pregnancy
Yeah, unplanned.
from a young lady your age
Yeah.
who takes it upon herself to deal with this in a way that she thinks is best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also not a movie about that.
No, yeah.
Which is
not an abortion
why
movie.
it's so fucking great,
Thank
quite
you.
frankly. Because it's like this wonderful comedy, life dramedy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then this whole other huge life decision kind of runs through it underneath in a very real way, not in a very movie or TV way. Which
yeah.
one of the things I really liked about it.
I'm glad that.
Jamie, you love this movie.
I did love this movie. Yes, it was definitely my top 2 of the 7 that we saw, the 6 that I saw.
What was the other one?
Skeleton
Oh,
Twins.
yeah. I didn't get to see it.
So this is what I was saying earlier. When
Really
you're there with
wanted
the
to
film,
see
you
it.
don't get to see
I
anything.
didn't get to do anything. Yeah, I just didn't do that.
But easily top 2. Excellent. And
Yeah,
it's and I
that's nice
think I
company
spoke
to
to you.
be in.
I think I spoke to you about this afterwards. That I just love it. I just love a good, strong female presence, and it was you know. that's
And
what I
you're
loved.
not, she's not at all Go's sister. So
No, but if it's a funny woman, because I've discussed this on the show all the time, like, don't tell me that she's a comedic actress. She has to like prove to me that she's a comedic actress. You know, like you're either a comedic actress or you're not. Like just like I always use this example, but people shoving Kristen Bell down my throat as a comedic actress, I just am not buying.
You don't think I think she's so funny.
well, this is how we differ. No. We like her as a person and whatnot. And what I agree with this point of there are natural comedians, and sometimes.
And then there's people that it's like they just keep getting
Yes.
funny, like they're not naturally funny, but they keep getting very strong, funny material. But then I don't feel that they're genuinely.
And they can even go on to become stars from doing comedy work. But if you don't feel it, you don't feel it for whatever reason.
Yeah, there's also just a lot of different type of comedy to do.
Yeah.
Like there are some people who are just they are just incredibly like they just deliver.
Yeah.
They are given the line and they deliver the line.
Right.
And they're like
You mean like get out of their own way, kind of deliver the line?
like they just it's not about like what is the creative choice. Like there are some people that do comedy and they just are they are successful at it because they have like no ego about whether or not they created the material.
Oh, huh?
You know, like I think there are a lot of actors who work on funny shows who are like their utility is really high, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think more and more we come from a place of diversifying. And when you meet someone who can just simply perform it as it was written, and you'll say, do you do any writing or any? No,
They're just like, they're just serviceable, which doesn't really interest me. And I feel like when I see performances that are serviceable, they've just done their service. I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was completed.
Yeah.
You completed that.
Yeah, you get a completion.
And I am not looking down on it, because I mean, there's also like parts of me that I wish were better in terms of how I can be serviceable. Like, I cannot hit my mark. I just can't fucking hit it.
Really?
I'm never standing in the right place.
Because you don't have a sense without looking down?
Yeah.
Where the mark is?
No, because it makes me nervous that there's a mark. It makes me nervous that I would ever have to stand in one spot, which is why I'm terrible. Many reasons why I would just be bad at a 3-camera sitcom. But I just get nervous, and I don't want to have to stand in one place, and I'm immediately like, fuck you, why don't you fucking find me? But that is not good.
That's helpful. No.
And I'm not like a rebel, I don't like it.
You said that to many directors, is what you're saying.
Find me. Find me.
I'll be on the set.
Yeah.
You know what? You've got a camera.
Yeah.
How tough could it be? So, first of all, my first question about Obvious Child actually is, please help me pronounce the director's name. Wait, let me try first.
Cool.
Jillian.
No.
Because there is a G, so you want to say Gillian.
It is Gillian.
Okay. And then the last name, it can't be the way it looks.
What do you think it is?
Robespierre.
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 Yeah, it's the name of a really famous French philosopher.
By the name of?
Robespierre.
Well, there's got to be more to it than just the last name.
Phil.
Thank you. Philippe. Yeah. Philippe Robespierre.
Le Poisson Robespierre.
Grey Poupon Robespierre.
Exactly.
Okay. And how did Gillian come to you with this? What was the origin of this in your life?
She and her 2 friends, Anna and Karen, had watched movies like Juno and Knocked Up, and were kind of like, well, in terms of comedy, we think that these are funny, and in terms of the experience that the woman has, it is completely unrecognizable to us. And why is...
Fiction, more fiction than life.
Yeah, just this is not the story of Juno and the story of Katherine Heigl's character in Knocked Up are both interesting stories, and those actresses are really good, and it's not about that at all for them. They were just like, I don't see my story here.
Right.
And were really, interested in trying to put a story that they knew from
their own life.
Their own lives, or the lives of other women, or in general the trend that they saw. And so they wanted to make a short. Then they came and saw me do stand-up. It was 2009, and they asked me to do the short, which I did. And then that was kind of like a weird time, because for me, I was doing stand-up, right when I graduated from college. I started doing stand-up with my best friend Gabe as a duo. And
who co-stars with you in the film?
Yes, he's in the movie as Joey. But I didn't really work professionally. I was on those shitty VH1 panel shows, which are a function of the time.
Sure.
I just wanted to be on TV. I didn't understand that those sucked. And also going back, I'd probably do it again. It's nice to be on TV.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity for people who hadn't been on TV before to sit in a chair and say funny things.
Yeah. I don't know what it is worth to me, except for that it made me feel that
you'd been on a set. And
I was part of a somehow a door had opened into a world that's all other doors, but whatever. But after we made the short, then suddenly I just started to work, not because of the short, but I would love to see a
timeline,
a chart, a natal chart, if astrology is real, what that would say for me, because I did that short, then I went to see, this is really hokey, but I am the child of 2 art farts, so I do stuff go to tarot readers and stuff. That's just everybody. But I went to a tarot...
Everyone but Sam has actually been to a tarot card reader.
Yeah?
Safe to say?
Oh, I've been.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, I went to one, and she was like, you need to get all of your characters out onto a stage, and if you do that, you'll get the big stage, is what she said. And she was like, and by August, you'll be standing on that stage, and by September, you will be calling me asking for help because something giant is going to happen, and you're not going to know what to do.
And then what actually happened?
What happened was I was like, all right, well, I've been thinking about doing like I called it a one-lady show because one woman show made me feel like a tampon, and it was like so douchey, and I was just like, I can't ask people to come to a one-woman show. I just don't like that.
Bless you for making that decision.
Whatever, you know? And so I asked the Upright Citizens Brigade if I could do it there, even though I was not part of their community. Like, I did stand-up in the shows there, but I didn't go up through the classes or...
This is in New York?
Yeah, and I did a show called Dead Millionaire, which was... The premise was that I died right now, or right then, as a 27-year-old, as an eccentric millionaire, and left all of my money to the dog, and had a video will, and the show was my funeral, and so the video will was playing, and then I was coming and eulogizing myself in different characters.
Nice.
And so I did that, and like, I did one show, and somebody from SNL came and saw it, and
Happened to be there?
I think and I'm not sure, but I think John Mulaney was there, and I believe he may have told Ayala Cohen, who was doing the casting for SNL, I don't know if she still does. She came the next week, and then the week after that I was auditioning for SNL.
Wow.
And then by August I was on the show.
And then September, did you call?
I said fuck on TV, and I called the lady the next day, and she was like, I told you you'd be calling me, and I was like, oh my God, I had forgotten. I was like terrified. And then I started to go see her a lot, and that was like a bad idea.
How much did she ask for?
Oh my God, $90 a session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what kind of lump sum did she try to extract from you to rid you of your problems?
She took a lump out of my breast.
Okay.
I don't know. You know, it just stopped. You know, the magic, I don't know, stopped working.
It's the second oldest profession.
What's the first? Hookers? Right. Yeah. I've never sucked dicks for money.
There you go.
So only one.
Not what it says here. I'm sorry, but we have video to go with this.
But sucking dicks for blow, that's not the same.
No, that's just you trying to chill out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Relaxes
which,
you.
I'll ask this question on behalf of our very own Jamie Foxx, even though she does not know I'm about to ask it.
Uh-oh.
What was it like getting sexy with Jason Schwartzman?
Totally, I don't know. That was like my first ever kissing scene even.
Keep talking.
So-
but slower, I think.
I was scared because I'd never like kissed anybody on television. I was like on tape, you know, and I was like, what if it's like I'm weird or something, you know?
Were
I
you
don't
sure
know.
whether or not to use tongue?
I wasn't sure.
And did you ask?
Yeah.
And was the answer hell yes?
It was like, no. he was a total gentleman.
Sure.
But he also knew I was really nervous. And he was just like, oh, you're like doing totally fine. It's like, it was very, he was like the most encouraging. Not like of our kissing scenes, but of me in general. And
a damn good kisser.
great kisser.
Sure.
And a cute person.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. He's a real adorable person. Yeah. So it was a total delightful experience. Totally delightful. Not weird. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be weird. And I was so scared. Terrified. I was really scared.
I don't know that some trepidation ever leaves you.
No. I mean, every time I have to kiss someone, I'm like...
I've been at this forever, and I just had to, well, I don't want to spoiler it for Monday's season finale.
Well, this will
of
drop
Mom,
on Tuesday.
But oops, this will drop on Tuesday. So I had a last night's show on Mom, season finale.
Yeah.
A little kissing with Alice and Janney.
Oh.
And, you know, we've both been at this our whole lives.
Yeah.
And I was like, literally, how does a CBS kiss work?
Yeah, I think it's good to be like, are we going to use tongue or not? Because I didn't know that you don't, primarily do it. So
Right.
I definitely have slipped the tongue in.
Sure.
But, I didn't know
Right.
at first. So that's embarrassing. But, yeah, it was like, I think Yeah, that is embarrassing.
But you want it to be authentic, so why? You know.
I've tongued a lot of people.
Sure.
In scenes.
Let's go over the list now.
You know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But also depends on what the director says.
It is indeed what the director says.
It is.
Well,
but sometimes kissing just doesn't look real if you're not using tongue.
I got a little bit of Liz just now.
What?
Because it just comes out.
It is.
Yeah. When you say it is.
Yeah.
Does it ever get to a point on the set during shooting of publicity that a canine of some sort will go? Do you guys ever hit that pitch?
My dog's at home.
That only dogs can hear?
Sometimes at home, I make a lot of weird voices and noises
Sure.
at my dogs to see. And yeah, my dog, like there's one real high squeak that I make that makes him go like that with his ears.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is adorable the first 17 times, and then you start to feel bad.
Yeah, I feel really bad.
Sure. What is the origin of publicity? Was it just something that they wrote and decided to plug you into?
Yeah. I think they...
Because it seems so of the two of you fucking around.
Well, now it is.
Right.
And I think Nick knew I could do that voice. I believe he had someone else in mind for it, and she couldn't do it, was what he told me.
A girl he was dating.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly. So that makes me feel really bad.
That he probably, according to the dossier...
I don't know why I know that.
No.
I should not know that, but he mentioned it in an interview.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. In an interview, you were interviewing him
Yeah.
for Vulture,
But yeah.
maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's when he said, well, originally I would
Yeah, it was for Lake Bell.
I would fuck around and we would do these characters together, and then she couldn't do the show.
Yeah. She
And then he
didn't do
said
it.
6 people auditioned.
Right.
was a
They
lie.
asked me to do
Right.
it. And I was like really pumped to do it because I had been fired from SNL in the fall. And then like, that was sort of my first, he asked me, which was really nice. And there was a part of me that was like, nobody gives a shit that I got fired except for me. But it was nice to have some validation from someone I really admired.
Sure.
You know? Like, I wasn't damaged goods.
Right.
It was nice. Especially since it was like the pilot. You know, he's willing to put me in there.
Even though that's huge.
It was nice.
Yeah, and it was a big part of that first season.
Yeah.
I mean, like, to the point where people probably demand that there's at least X amount of episodes of publicity. I mean, I know as ardent viewers and fans of the show, as Jamie and I are, it's one of the things we look forward to.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it too. And I love doing it. It is the most playful experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're back shooting now?
Yeah, they start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or Monday, yesterday.
Right. Spoke to the Mansoukas, who's back to work
Oh, yeah.
on Wednesday, I think he said. So, are you in the midst of shooting Married?
We finished May 9th. And then Obvious Child comes out June 6th.
June 6th is
And
the
I've
date
just,
that I
like,
have
some-
as well.
Yeah, press to do before that. And Kroll.
All right, here's some follow-ups.
Sure.
Why have I not been invited to perform on your monthly UCB stand-up comedy show, Bestie by Bestie?
I don't have a good answer for that. I didn't know you wanted to.
My way of
You're a
saying-
stand-up comedian until like we started the interview.
Well, that's true. That's true. I don't even know.
She
That's
just
my
thought you
way of
did-
saying I'd be happy to.
She thought you did Freddie Prinze Jr. movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Exclusively.
we don't have anybody but us. Like sometimes we have
Really?
one other person, but sometimes it's just me and Gabe and Max Silvestri who will come in.
Right. The next one I think is April 19th?
It is?
No. Is it Saturday? Your show's on Saturday?
Yeah, it's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a week from yesterday, which would be the 19th.
Okay, so we'll do that. We'll come and do it. It's fun. It's just a stand-up show.
I can't come do it.
You can't come next week. It's already booked, but you can come on May.
No, I mean, we're going to a wedding.
Oh, you guys are going to one.
Yeah.
Good.
It's our own.
It's your own?
Nobody needs to know that. What can you tell me about the hit song Pooh and Pee Are Husband and Wife?
Where did you find that?
It's a dossier.
What the hell?
Yeah, little research got done.
How'd you get that?
I'm not going to tell.
That was like a stupid bit that Gabe and I used to do on stage. You know, trying to even.
Poop and P
Poop
are
and pee. Okay,
husband
so
and wife.
it was like a thing that I used to talk about that I don't know why it started, but I was thinking about like poop and pee and what their relationship is to each other. Like, because when you see like a fork and a knife,
Sure.
I always think like the fork is the wife and the knife is the husband because he's taller.
I think that's how everyone sees the fork and the knife, no?
Yeah, well, because you can put the napkin on the
And
fork
the
as
dish
a
ran
veil.
away with the spoon, so we know that those two are together.
That's right, the dish and the
Interesting.
spoon.
I didn't think about that. Well, anyway, so I was thinking about like poop and pee, and I was like,
Nice poll, by the way.
are they enemies? Do they know about each other? Are they best friends?
You've given them life forces.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was like, oh no, they're husband and wife.
They'd have to be.
And the poop is the husband because it's like strong, and like the pee is the wife because she's like.
Poop is stronger?
Oh, it's like gentle and like lying down.
Wow.
Yeah.
The poop is stronger.
Yeah.
Because they can pile?
And then somehow there was a song.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, and and Gabe would kind of be like, okay, great, good, all right, like we can stop. And then it was like, I've thought about this so much, and I wrote a song about it as well, and I would sing the song.
It was your way of, I think, saying to the audience, I spend a little more time than you do finding bodily functions humorous.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
And I think that's pretty terrific because children love them. And the fact that you still have that childlike fascination in a comedic way is pretty damn terrific.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
It's a window to your soul,
Yeah.
this song,
Yeah.
this poop and pee, your husband and
Poop
wife.
and pee, our husband and wife. Oh, and the other thing was that like I wouldn't reveal what I thought they were. So the song was kind of going through what they were, in the last line of it was poop and pee, our husband and wife.
Oh, terrific. What was the first line?
Poop and pee,
Is there any part
poop
of the
and
song?
pee are together forever.
Can you legally sing the song?
Poop and pee are friends for life. Poop and pee, something, I forget what the thing.
And then poop and pee, your husband and wife.
Poop and pee are together forever. Poop and pee are friends for life. Poop and pee. Fucking, what is that other one? I can't
Come on,
remember.
Kenny, you know the song.
I know that it's recorded somewhere.
He only knows the Spanish cover version.
You know it's recorded somewhere?
Yep.
Okay. Josh, Jason out there, can you look up
It's got to be somewhere.
poop and pee or husband and wife somewhere on the interwebs and bring that home for us? I brought up the Marcel the Show with shoes on, so
Yeah.
let's talk about these. There's children's books. There's 2 now? 3?
Yeah, no, there's 2. The
2.
second one comes out in the fall.
Right. And you wrote them with?
My husband, Dean Fleischer Camp, who also directed and animated the Marcel shorts. Yeah. The first one is just sort of a general intro about Marcel and who he is. And the second one is about being surprised.
About being surprised.
Yeah.
And the joys for some and the dread for others.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you like
and
being surprised?
I like being surprised.
Excellent.
A lot.
Sammy,
Ah!
it's time. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Okay.
Roll the thing.
Roll the thing.
Wow.
Yep. It's a surprise.
Really?
Yep.
Celebrities have so much to say. Who tweeted? Is the game we're gonna play.
Now, if you had to guess who those 3 were,
Yeah, who's that on the end? The dark-haired one.
it was Demi, who's no longer a part of the game.
Not to me.
You got Paris, you got Tyra,
Yeah.
Ah, nicely done.
and then you got...
We've added Bieber.
Bieber.
Bieber has replaced, but we haven't done the work on the
Bieber.
graphic.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
So then you know you're halfway there. So the game is who tweeted Tyra, Paris, or Bieber.
Okay,
So here's how it's going to work. You and Kevin are going to play against each other.
great.
And one at a time, I'm going to read a series
Oh,
of 8 total tweets.
Okay.
Okay?
One at a time.
One at a time. As I begin reading the tweet, as soon as you feel you know who wrote that tweet, you ring in by saying your own name,
Oh,
and then I'll point to you. You have 3 seconds to declare either Tyra, Paris, or Bieber.
okay.
Ring in, you get it right, you get yourself 5 points.
Cool.
Ring in, you get it wrong, you lose 3.
There's a penalty for being wrong.
Once someone has rang in, that's it. There's no second guesses from the other person. You either get it right or you get it wrong, and we move on to the next one.
Okay.
At the end of 8 total tweets, whoever is in the lead is going to walk with this sweet ass.
I want that money.
Andy Jackson.
It's an Andrew Jackson.
A couple of Jews fighting over a 20.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
that.
What says
I want it.
Passover?
Greater
more
than.
that?
Yeah.
Are you ready to play? Who tweeted?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here.
You're going down.
Excellent. I'm going down. It's on.
Yeah.
It's officially on. Here we go.
Go. Tweet number 1. Getting ready to go to my Uncle Ron's wedding. So happy for him and his new wife. Such a sweet couple. Hashtag true love.
Paris. Jenny. Paris.
That is
Wow,
correct.
plus column already.
Boom. Starting off strong, what I like to see from our guests.
Nicely done.
Tweet number 2.
That could have been any one of them, that last one. Number 2.
Conquering the world.
Bieber. Jenny. Bieber.
Ooh, I'm
No.
so sorry.
Fuck.
You would
Shockingly, Paris again.
Why?
I don't
She
know.
is not.
Well,
You're still in the plus
Debatable.
column. I'm
I
not
can't
on the
even
board.
believe she is still
debatable.
awake.
For a person who's never had like a real job or any formal training, I think she is kind of conquering the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
She created
An empire
an empire.
based on a sex tape. Tweet number 3.
Yeah.
Always push yourself to be great.
Kevin Bieber
That is correct.
on the board.
On the board, in the lead now, 5-2.
Kevin Bieber. Kevin Bieber.
Tweet number 4.
I'm going down, she said.
My pen ran out of ink, so I decided to tweet instead of work. Makes sense, right?
Jenny. Tyra.
That is correct.
You know what? 'Cause Tyra's a workhorse.
Back in the lead.
She's also- workhorse.
She's also old enough to be one of still using a pen.
Sure.
Tweet
Excellent.
number 5.
Cinco.
Photo shoot yesterday for fun. Hope you guys liked what you saw.
Kevin Paris.
Oh no!
I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about that answer.
Oh no! The Biebs.
For fun?
Photo shoot yesterday for fun.
For fun, like he did it for fun? For the band fun?
Yeah, just for fun.
Oh,
Like it was like a Tuesday at 11. He's like, oh, what am I gonna do? It was a photo shoot.
let's get a shoot together.
Yeah.
Let's snap some
Call up some boys.
snaps of me. Great.
Oh, this is exciting. We got a barn burner here. Tweet.
Our guest does not seem to be enjoying the tweet photo.
I love it. Are you kidding?
She's
I'm, like,
kicking your
fucking
ass.
Focused.
What are you talking about?
I'm really focused. That's what's happening
Are
right
you
now.
competitive
I
by
want
nature?
this money. Yeah, I'm really, really competitive by
Tweet
nature.
number 6. So you know when you get a direct message from someone and are all like, wow, that was a nice random surprise?
Jenny. Tyra.
Running away with the game. That is
Son of
correct,
a
young lady.
Bitch!
That is correct. Kevin,
There's no way you can win now, Kevin.
he's got to get the next two. He's got to get the next two right.
You are losing. You won't. You won't. You won't.
I have to get the next two?
You're going to have to nail them
I
both.
love it. I want this money.
Very few guests get paid to appear on this show.
True. You have to win your appearance fee. Tweet.
Don't let me down, Jerry. That's what I call myself, Jerry.
Tweet number 7. This is maybe my favorite tweet of all time.
It is my
We were
favorite tweet
discussing
of all
this.
time.
It's our
I can
favorite
already
tweet of
tell
all
I'm gonna get it
time
wrong.
ever written.
I know I'm going to be wrong.
Hey, friends.
Kevin Bieber.
I'm going to read the whole thing because I'm not going to let you get in the way of this whole tweet. It's too good. Hey, friends. I lost my BlackBerry. So if you're trying to reach me, then text me on one of my 3 iPhones.
Kevin Bieber, I'm going to stand by.
Jenny. Paris.
Incorrect, correct.
Motherfucker! I am the fucking winner.
Technically, I can't award you points since he
Damn.
answered first. It's all right, though. It is
Yo!
insurmountable.
That
so
is amazing.
the 8th and final tweet, just for shigs.
Here we go. Come on, you're going down. Let's get this last one.
Just for shigs. A little sunshine never hurt anybody.
Kevin Tyra.
Also wrong. Any guesses?
Jenny Biebs.
That is correct.
Girl,
Not
girl,
a single
girl, you
wrong
rule.
answer except for the
You
second
rule,
one. But
girl.
we don't care.
Girl.
Girl.
Girl. What you just did right now, girl?
You take that. You take it.
Yeah!
You buy yourself something nice, like some unleavened bread.
Unleavened bread.
There it is.
Thank you, Sammy.
My pleasure,
Yeah,
Ken.
that was cool.
That's how you play.
Thanks.
Who tweeted?
Oh, I loved it. Thank you. Oh, I really, really liked that.
You kicked ass. Jamie created the game. Feel free to play with your friends. We should probably trademark it and get some money out of it, but it's a hell of a fun game, is it not?
I really liked it.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I love guessing stuff.
Do you?
I love any game like that. Love it.
So what are some of your other favorite guessing games? They would be...
You know what I like is the one where they're like, I do it with my husband a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be like, okay,
Would you rather...
Jennifer Love Hewitt and, Sidney Poitier, and then you have to
The Kevin Bacon game?
yeah. But it's not, Kevin Bacon centric. It's anyone.
Right. There was a game like that, a board game called Star-Crossed. That was that game. It was a board game back in the day that my brother and I used to play and we loved.
How do you
Yeah.
connect these two is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like it. I think it's really cool.
I love that game. We had a game we played a while on this show in the beginning called 3 Degrees of Kevin Pollak, because I don't know why Kevin Bacon needs 6 degrees. What a pussy.
Yeah.
Because I'll get you anywhere in 3 handshakes or less to anyone.
Huh?
Name one now.
Really?
Yep.
I literally can't think of it. Susan Sarandon.
That's a little too easy.
Why? What did I do? Are you you're probably just in a movie with her, huh?
No. She and I have not worked together. But it's kind of easy if I'm just not thinking of the right people, damn it. The problem for my old brain is I have to now go through her entire filmography and think of all the people she's worked with. But I just know when you say her name, there's a host of people Kevin Bacon, Sean Penn, and she, of course, did Dead Man Walking. Mm-hmm. And Sean Penn worked with Jack Nicholson. That's 2 handshakes. Next!
Wow.
Wait,
Yeah.
Sean Penn worked with Jack Nicholson, and the film was?
Then the film was,
This is part of the game. You can't just say they worked together.
I have to know the name of the movie?
Yeah, that's how the game works. I'm still
do.
working on Love Hewitt and Poitier in my head.
Oh, okay. Oh, we'll get there. You'll get there.
Okay.
Well, The Pledge. Thank you.
No,
The
thank
Pledge
you.
is the name of the movie. Sorry, The Pledge.
Technically,
Because Sean Penn directed and didn't act in it,
that's
it doesn't
correct.
count?
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
This is
doesn't
the
count.
argument that I have with my husband all the time.
It's a good argument. It's a fun argument.
Yeah.
Didn't
You
Sean
know,
Penn and Tom Cruise do a movie together? I believe they did.
But then you're too many away.
What do you mean? It's still only 2.
same.
Yeah. What was the movie?
Sean Penn and Tom Cruise did, am I wrong? Let's go back to Susan
Really?
Sarandon, because she's worked with everyone.
I love Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
She rules. I was just watching Bull Durham the other day.
Oh, we're done. Thank you. Bull Durham. Kevin Costner and I did a movie together. That's 1 handshake. Next!
What movie?
Oh, I
that's
forgot.
right.
3,000 Miles to Graceland. Thank
That
you.
was the first movie that popped into my head was
For
Bull
Susan
Durham.
Sarandon?
Yeah, and
Oh, how
then I
funny.
forgot that he was in 3,000.
Why am I
Miles to
dicking around with
Graceland.
Sean Penn? That's the name of my 4th book. Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt and I did House Arrest.
House Arrest.
Oh.
And so let me, Poitier, Sammy, you're so close.
Yeah, I do. You and Jamie Lee Fitness in House Arrest. Jamie Lee Fitness in...
Jamie Lee Fitness?
Jamie Lee
Lee
Curtis in My Girl with Dan Aykroyd, Sneakers, Poitier.
You're there.
You could also use Trading Places.
Oh,
Oh,
both work.
Both work.
it's really fun. It's
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's like one of those games to make your brain not die that they always advertise on NPR. Lumosity.com, right?
Lumosity.
Yeah.
Listen to you.
Yeah. I listen to the radio constantly.
They should be a
all day
sponsor
long.
on this show because all of our listeners are like brighter than average, but they could be brilliant if they just tried that website.
Let's get back to your feelings about being number 1 on the call sheet and the responsibilities therein.
Okay.
Obvious Child, independent film with a budget of?
I think $500,000.
Holy
$500,000.
cow.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that alone.
I'm not sure, but I believe I don't think it was more than that.
Still, so what's that, a 20-day shoot?
18 days.
Sure, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
But and with that kind of budget, everybody's working for coffee and donuts. Craft service is a bit of a joke, and
Sure.
you're walking meals and so on. Mm-hmm. But it's a full-blown production.
Yeah.
That goes on to have its debut at Sundance, and one of the few quick sales at Sundance, I might add.
It did. It did
Really
have
quick.
a very quick sale.
I seem to recall getting a text from you, something about champagne and pajama party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because also, you know what? What really bums me out about Sundance are the parties. I really don't like them. I really, really don't like them.
Because
They make me nervous,
Sure.
and everybody misbehaves. Everybody's fucking pimping out their shit. Everybody is talking about themselves.
Yeah.
Looking over your shoulder while you would like them to look into your face.
Sure.
While you're talking.
yeah,
It's crowded, it's cold, and I don't like it. I just don't like the vibe. It is not cool.
yeah.
It's
It's pressurized.
it's just schmoozing.
Schmoozing.
It's bad. And I'm sure, a lot of people would be like, oh, just fucking chill out and drink your drink. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. That's kind of true. But, also at Sundance, there's not a lot of food. Like, I could not find anything
I was
to
just
eat.
about to say that.
It makes me really, really upset when I don't know when, I'm going to have food.
Just the lack of planning, also.
It's just
For dining
unbelievable.
and food.
Yeah, so when we found out that we got, our movie got bought, we, instead of being like, let's go out to dinner, we were like, can we please fucking go home and put on our pajamas and drink by ourselves?
Yeah.
Just the best.
And that was you and Gillian.
And Gillian.
And-
yeah, and then Liz joined us, I
Right.
believe, and we were staying in a house. Elizabeth Holm is the producer of Obvious Child, and we were staying in a house that was filled with people, people sleeping on the floor. Our costume designer, the dude that did our credits, our DP, we were all in one house together.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was really, really fun.
So everyone got in their pajamas and ordered some food?
I forget.
Because you mentioned the thing about the eating.
Yeah, I don't remember when we ate or what we ate.
But it was a very quick sale, was my memory.
Yeah, it was we premiered on Friday and the movie had sold in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very few films actually sold.
Yeah, I guess
At
so.
the
I don't know a lot
festival
about how it
in
works,
general.
but yeah.
And because when the percentage starts to drop like that, as it has in the last many years, and that many films on display, it's one of the things that's in the back of your mind whether you want it to be there or not. Because
Yeah,
you don't have
I
to sell
know.
there to get a life.
No, you don't.
It just would be unbelievably great to build some momentum and have that announcement and then get the actual release date, in this case, June 6th.
Yeah, and it's a pretty quick. It's coming out, But I am glad that it sold. I guess I just again, I liked making the movie so much, and have become to I really just like enjoying things while they're happening.
Yes, in the moment.
Yeah, and I've started to be like, look, I definitely know what it's like to have a job and not like it, and how that really starts to make a bad an impression. It starts to lean on the rest of your life, and the rest of your life kind of can't hold it up.
Right.
And I just don't want that. I would like to minimize that and to maximize just my sort of daily enjoyment.
Yeah.
And although I think I've got a pretty good business sense, sort of try to not see everything as a means to an end. What if this movie's really big and then people see me and then they think I can do this or that? It's just way too much.
It's fun to fantasize in quiet little private moments
Yeah,
about
it is.
things like that, and then shove it out of your brain as quickly as you can.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
So I was of course it's on my mind, well, hopefully this movie will be good.
Yeah.
And I will hopefully be good in it.
Right.
And then I'll be able to make more movies.
Yeah, I think it's great to be goal-oriented, but it's very detrimental, I think, to be result-oriented.
Yeah.
If you're only thinking about what the result might be, then you miss doing the thing.
Yeah. It's totally, yes. And so when we finished
Were there
the movie,
days when you were on it when you thought, I am number one on the call sheet? This is kind of...
I never fucking thought about the number. But I did really like that.
But that's just a way to say star of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, there were definitely days when I would be I'm the girl in the movie. And a lot of the days it was just me.
Yeah.
You know, and then and people came in and out, but like it just felt really private. Like it was me and Gillian and our crew. Felt really nice, but yeah, that feeling of like they don't make this movie without me.
Yeah.
I'm in every scene. They don't make it without me.
You're in almost every setup, not just almost every scene.
Yeah.
There are very few setups that you're...
Yeah, I'm never not in it.
Right.
And I really, really liked that. And I liked, yeah.
And you excelled. And there's there must have been a sense of accomplishment a little bit along the way of hitting it right.
It felt, yeah, like you can definitely...
You don't know what's going to come of it.
Right, but the vibe felt good, you
Yeah.
know? Like I could tell that something was connecting. And I remember talking to my dad and being like, oh, this is something, I haven't done this before. And I don't think I could have done it, although I would have wanted to do it like 3 years ago. I just didn't have the skill set.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was really learning on the job for sure. And I really felt good.
Well, to any filmmakers out there, or just fans of independent film, and our guest today, I wildly and intensely encourage you to see Obvious Child, because it's a tour de force for you, honestly and
Thank you,
truly.
Kevin.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And we're out of time.
Ah,
Yeah. You
ends on a compliment.
You did extremely well.
You failed at the game.
I know. I know.
Kevin, you lost.
Yeah.
I won, and I won $20.
I'm gonna.
You sure
And
did.
it's my money now,
sure
and I
did.
won the game, and I'm the winner of it. Thank you. I won. Whatever.
Yeah.
I won.
Yeah.
The game. I won the game.
And winning the game of life.
Oh man,
Aw.
$20. I fucking love it. I'm so excited.
Happy Pesach to you and yours.
I found the that's-
LKG.
Yeah. I explained the Larry King game to you earlier. I'm going to reiterate
gosh.
one last time.
Okay, yeah.
That'll be your camera. When you're ready, here are the basic rules.
Yeah.
I want a bad Larry King impression.
It's gonna be horrible.
Good. Excellent. That makes me laugh. And then just give me that moment where Larry looks into the camera and he says something about himself. It's not about you. You're doing Larry. So
Yeah.
Larry is sharing something about himself, anything
Yeah.
that we don't give a shit about. And then go to the phones. And then if the name of the city is funny sounding, it's not going to hurt.
Like,
Any funny sounding city you've ever heard in your life.
God. Okay.
No
what?
pressure.
It's a bad Larry King impression.
And then he shares something about himself.
Right.
And then you go to the phones. And you're done.
He shares something about himself.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like,
he thinks he's overly important when he's looking down the barrel.
and he's like this,
yeah,
right?
that's exactly right.
Okay, so I'm here.
Here's something you need to know, America,
Yeah.
and the world at large, about me. And it's always useless information.
I heard a rumor, and that's what I'm going to say about him.
Do it. Go.
Okay.
When you're ready.
I fart continuously through my interviews, and I have fans under the table blowing the farts away from my guests. Chernobyl, you're on the line.
And that's how you play
I heard that.
the Larry King game. Farts blowing in the opposite
I
direction
heard
of the
Yeah.
guest.
farts
That
under
makes
the-
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, can I just say one thing?
Please.
My husband tells me that I am really, really bad at a lot of the impressions that I think I'm good at.
Right.
And I think my best one is one that most people can do very well, which is a Schwarzenegger. And he tells me it's the worst Schwarzenegger impression that anyone has ever done.
Okay.
And also because the quote that I use is apparently obscure. But
Let's-
it's from the movie
No,
Twins.
Oh. We were going to say, don't say the movie, say the quote, and we were going to guess.
They like to guess. That's all right.
You know, I used to be confused about Twins and Junior, and I thought that Junior was where Arnold Schwarzenegger has a baby out of his butt, and the baby is Danny DeVito. That's not true.
If I may, that's a better movie.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the impression. I did not think the pavement was as... Hold on. Come on, man. I did not think the pavement was his enemy. You know that?
I don't know where to start.
I
don't know where to
I'm going to
start.
side with your husband.
I don't know where to start. It sounds more like Ricky Ricardo. First of all, I don't know what you said.
I did not think...
I honestly couldn't even make out.
I got the I should preface. The only part I got was I did nothing. I did hear
I
that.
did not think the pavement was his enemy.
The pavement was his
So he
enemy.
knocks the guy off the motorcycle.
It's the man's trying to steal his
steal his
suitcase,
suitcase,
but
and
Arnold's
he pulls
just
him
too
off the
strong.
bike, yeah.
I like
So
it.
why is he gruff? Why do you think he's gruff?
I'm just trying to be more male.
Okay, fair enough. That's the correct answer, by the way.
Yeah.
No more 20s, but that is the correct answer.
Yeah.
We did not get to any of the questions written by your fans.
Oh no.
So sorry to the fans. We've simply run out of time.
All right.
Congratulations on everything. Don't fuck up the rest.
I'll try not to, Kevin, but you just don't know.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, what a pleasure.
Can I make a recommendation? More F-bombs. It's been all uphill since then.
Yeah. Well, all uphill?
Yeah.
Is uphill good?
Yes.
It firms your glutes.
Well, you know the expression, it's all been downhill since then.
Oh, true.
It would be the opposite of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was the beginning of a great career. I think
Hey.
you're right, Sammy.
That's what I'm saying. Was that the night we met at SNL? I
Did
was
you
there.
just make that
You
night
know
about
what?
you?
No.
Sam, I think we met at the town hall.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like
yes.
that's when I met
think you're
you
right.
at Andy Samberg's stand-up show.
You were right. But I saw you that night.
Yeah.
And I remember you were a mess, and I felt terrible, and I was like,
Was I? I don't even remember. That's how scared I was. I
know.
don't even remember.
But like, it was you had a parade of people telling you you're going to be fine.
I do
Don't
remember
worry
that
about
and
it.
being like, why? I forgot. I like literally didn't understand
Wow.
the consequences.
But everyone was, you're fine. It's been
yeah.
great.
My
And we're
life
all
is so much better.
Yeah. And we couldn't be happier because you're great.
Thanks.
Thanks for being a guest on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And everything else,
I liked it.
honestly. Sit there uncomfortably, if you would, please, while I wrap things up for the
Cool.
folks all out there. But thank you, honestly
Thank
and
you,
truly.
Kevin. That was nice.
And yes, this was our 200th show. Like all the others, the one thing it does have in common with them is that it was charming and clumsy at the same time. It's what we pride ourselves on, quite frankly, because perfection is not something you should strive for.
No.
It's something to be avoided.
Unattainable.
And because it's unattainable. Thank you, Sammy. Sammy, Jamie, thank you. Kenny, please don't get up.
Too late.
Too late. Josh and Jason running the ship from out there. Samantha Ward, who left earlier. Daniel Overland, our media maven. David Mandel, who gets credit for being the best intern on the planet, although too busy for us today. Suck it.
Don't care for it.
I'm sure I forgot someone. Oh, and the Jason Galcans, of course, for giving us this lovely studio yet again, even though half the fucking cameras weren't here when we got here.
Oh.
I don't think he's watching.
You're not buffering. And that's how we end the show. Thank you all very much. We'll see you next time. And as always, get out of my face.